Startup grind.
So welcome to our second meetup of Startup Grind University Rishon Lezion. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Startup Grind for those of you who do not know us. Startup Grind is the biggest startup community worldwide. It started in Silicon Valley a little bit, I think 5-6 years ago. There were like 20 guys. Now we are over 3 million people, entrepreneurs in that big community, global community. We are in over 600 branches in about 150 countries. And it all started with big gatherings in big cities, just like New York, San Francisco, Tel Aviv, of course. And then Startup Grind decided that maybe they should extend a little more and started doing Startup Grind X, which is basically Startup Grind for smaller cities, up to 200,000 people. And then also became, went to expand into universities for Startup Grind University. And we're trying in Rishon Lezion to do some sort of a mixture between the two. Okay, Startup Grind X together with Startup Grind University. So it's a college of management, but it's really, the name is Rishon Lezion. So we're trying to do everything for the entire city. Just a little bit about our values. Okay, we are about making friends, not contacts. And it's about giving first. And trying to help others before you help yourself, because we believe in karma. So if you help others, the help is going to come back to your face, and that's going to be really nice. And the plan is to continue those gatherings around the city in places like People's, and going out of our comfort zone, out of the university, out of the students, and doing some cool stuff, okay, together. And today we have an amazing entrepreneur who became real famous by saving the teens that were stuck in the flooded cave not too long ago in Thailand. So, Uzi, join me.
Thank you.
Both of you. Do the same. Okay, so Uzi, let's start a little less nonchalant, okay? And
Okay.
talk about your childhood and your background, okay? And how it contributed to the fact that you became such a wonderful entrepreneur.
So I was born in Jerusalem, and in my time, which was many years ago, there was no TV and no cellular phone. So all my childhood was running on the hills and mountains of Jerusalem. And this was my playground. But when you do that as a child, you notice, you look around you and you notice to the little things that surround you. And as a child, I saw things and I wanted to improve them, and I thought that I can do things better than others. And I'm not sure that this was the things that contributed to who am I now and what I did. But I think that what the events in last July in Thailand brought me to the understanding that my destiny in this life, and this is a big word, is to save lives. And I started to think about all the places and events in my life that I did such similar things. And actually, I'm telling you the truth, but that time on last July, I didn't understand that this is my what the God plans for me. I was very curious child. My father was complaining all the time that I'm doing a lot of naughty and dangerous things. And yes, like every child, I built a rocket, and this is true. I I built a rocket, and then I went to school and I learned mathematics and electronics, and then and I joined the army. I served in the elite forces of Israel, in the technology elite forces of Israel. I was fortunate enough to develop a very unique product that was my idea to save the lives of pilots that lost in enemy territory, and I developed it was a GPS, but that time it was a 1990. GPS was a very new cutting edge technology. Now it's everywhere. And I took this GPS and I transmitted over wireless radio transceiver, so people will know where our forces are. And this was the first time in my life that I did something in the army. It was that was for saving lives of soldiers. Thereafter, I think it was in 1995, I was released from the army, and I opened the newspaper and I read, not the internet, the newspaper, and I read that unfortunately children are running into minefields in Angola, and they are, losing their lives, becoming handicapped and things like that. So I thought to myself, oh my God, we need to do something about it. So I innovated a game. It was a wireless game that the child put it on his neck, like a yes, and then whenever he come closer to a minefield, this little toy starts screaming. So and I approached with it to the UN, and I was fortunate enough to have the support of Tamar Golan, which was the ambassador to Angola, and we brought it to Angola, and there were, I think, 4, 5, 3 villages that their children play with it. Whenever they came closer to minefields, it starts screaming. It was the involvement of the UN in this project, and it was a very successful project. And I was fortunate enough to do that. And this was the second time that that I thought that technology needs to be for the benefit of saving lives. And then the third time was very, very interesting. It was, I was preparing myself for my best friend's wedding. Suddenly I saw the flashing news. Everybody remember where they were in September 11, when the planes crashed into the tower. I was shocked, really shocked. And it was few weeks afterwards that I learned that out of the 2,097 people that lost their lives there, 412 were first responders. 412 people died, not because they were in the building, because they went to save lives. And I thought to myself, what's going on here? How come their fellow mate couldn't help them, couldn't, rescue them, tell them, don't go into the building, don't run to that falling tower, do something. And I realized that the antenna that was responsible for the entire communication of the city was on top of one of the buildings. So when the plane crashed into the building, the first responder communication was lost. So they couldn't warn their friends, come out of the building, don't go there. And then, right then, I decided that I will devote my life to build something, to innovate something that first responders, firefighters will not, soldiers will not lose their lives trying to save others. And the idea was very simple. I thought to myself like a child. You know, every firefighter has a yes, and he goes with it, and so it's very long. So and a lot of people hold it. So I thought to myself, the people are the infrastructure. The people themselves are the infrastructure. So why not use this resource? And then the idea was running, and then so I innovated my communication solution, which I didn't know at that time that it's called mesh. I didn't know that. And it took five years to overcome all the challenges that this technology brought. It's supposed to be highly dynamic, people moving, changing their position. Nothing is, there is no single point of failure. So if one nodes or one user collapse or something happens to him, the network still must survive and be there. It's supposed to work underground and above ground, indoor and outdoor. It's very complicated because if you think technology-wise, you will think about a simple solution like using the GPS for synchronization and things like that, but it's not working underground. So it took us 5 years to develop it and to be very, very efficient. It's supposed to be lightweight. And that was the third time that, I think it wasn't the third time that I saved life, because I couldn't save life, unfortunately, but it was the first time that I decided that this will be the mission of my life. And you know, sitting here in front of you and many other people that may listen to this interview, I think that entrepreneurs, to be entrepreneur is to believe, but not to believe from your mind. It's to believe from every muscle and bone in your body. And I think that on September 11, at that time, it was the time that I took this strategical decision that this is what I'm going to do in my life. And so then there was September, there was the Thai rescue mission, the soccer team in Thailand. I'm not much of news fan, so I haven't know that there is such an event. 2 days after the event started, I received a call from my agent in Thailand telling me, listen, we need your equipment. This is the best thing to do. This is what we need to do. And they are willing to pay any amount of money. Name your price. I thought to myself, God, thank you. This is the best selling point. Everybody wants it. So without knowing any details, I thought to myself, listen, charge 10 times whatever it is and go with it. But please do tell me what it's all about. So he told me, you know, there are 12 children, 11 children with their soccer coach stuck in a cave. So I was shocked. I remember this moment. I was shocked and I said, repeat it again, say it again. He said 12 children, you know, 12 children. So I said, stop everything. Tell them that we will send it for free. We will go there, and we will help them to do whatever it takes to save those children. I just when I'm telling this story again and again, my skin starts being yes, and so I told him we will do whatever it takes to bring the devices and one of our engineers there to help the Thai rescue mission to do their job. And within 12 hours we were on the plane. Within 24 hours we were in the cave. And I remember the first telephone call from my guy there, Yuval. He said, Uzi, you won't believe. They did nothing for 3 days. They cannot go into the cave. There is a lot of mud. It's 10 kilometers. In miles, it's like 6-7 miles. Is that all?
1.6.
So it is,
Six miles. Yeah. The length of the cave.
1 mile is 1.6.
Yes. So it's 6 miles, 6.5 miles inside the cave. The cave this is the length of the cave. There is a lot of mud, and they cannot manage the logistic. They cannot go and search the children inside the cave. So I told him, so what do you think? He said, our equipment will do the difference. We'll enable them to enter into the cave. And I remember those days like it was yesterday. I haven't slept I think I slept 2 hours a day, because all the media around the world actually jumped on us and asked us to report, to give them information. And you know the rest. So they were rescued. We got a letter from the person that was responsible for this life mission this rescue mission, and he told us that without our radios, those children probably would die, because they wouldn't be able to reach them in time. And I think that this evidence that we received was it's something that when I'm telling it now, I'm starting to be excited about it. And yes, it was that.
I'm just trying, it's an amazing story, but I'm just trying. A man of your talent probably can do billions of dollars, okay? And then you actually decide to do something like that for free and to devote your life for saving lives. Did you believe that you're going to be an impact entrepreneur and not just, a B2B that makes all those money from enterprises? And
nice question. I was. So it was when I was around 30 years old, which was 20 years ago. I had a coach, and he asked me this question: what do you want that will be, signed on your grave? Do you want that it will be written, here is buried Uzi with $1 billion in his pockets, or buried Uzi who innovated a mesh that enables to save lives? So I think that you know the answer. No, I don't. I will tell you this. In the Judaism, there is a famous saying that who saved the life of one as he was saving the entire world. And I believe in that. And I believe that billionaires and poor people both died with nothing. So it doesn't matter how much money you have, as long as you fulfill your destiny and things like that. Money is important, but it's not that important. There are other things that, for me, fulfill my heart and makes. This is the things that every day when I'm going to work and coming back, this is what excites me. I can talk about it for days.
I just wanted to say that when you're talking about this event in Thailand, it was basically, sounds like it's your breakthrough, but you probably had to go through a lot in order to prove that your equipment works. Can you tell us about that journey?
There is a famous book, Crossing the Chasm. Probably you heard about it. So I think that being an entrepreneur is knowing that there is a long way ahead of you, and there are a lot of obstacles that you need to cope with. But as long as you believe that what you do is the right thing, it doesn't matter what other things, and don't consider your failure as real failure. I will tell you something. I'm what we call in Israel serial entrepreneur. I opened and I innovated and I was the owner of 6 startup companies in my life. 4 of them were total loss, total failure. And when I'm saying that, I said that they were the one that contributed to my experience. In one, I developed the best technology that I could think of, but I neglected the marketing. In the other, I invested in marketing, and I thought, yeah, marketing is the thing. This is what we're supposed to do, and the technology will come afterwards. And then I lost the customers because they say, okay, we believe you. We want to see the product, but where is the product? You will get it, you will get it, you will get it. Total loss. The third one, which is very interesting, it was a company that I fell in love with the idea of innovating something, which has no and this is something that entrepreneurs do sometimes, and you're so in love with what you do that you don't read the science, from the environment, from the market, and so you lose money. So I can say that I earned a lot of money and I lost a lot of money learning, but the idea behind it, that I think that not losing the faith in yourself. So you can learn in the academy the first and second business degrees but eventually I think it's personality. And in some of my lectures they asked me, what is your personality? So I said, first, I'm obsessive about ideas, obsessive about doing things, and obsession is a bad character, but if you adjust it to the right path, you can gain a lot of it. And you need to be nice to people, because the people that you meet along the way, they will be the people that will encourage you, will support you, or will stop you fulfilling your destination, doing what you want to do. So it's a mixture of all those things, and it's not just being sharp on the number. You can be sharp with the numbers, but you still need to have other characteristics that will help you to do that. I think that one of the startups that I ran in being an entrepreneur, it's a lot of fighting with your own ego. Why should I listen to this guy? What do he understand better than me about the market? No, I know better, so you don't listen. And when when you are not listening to your own people, your own team that works with you, you lose a lot of money. So I did this mistake as well. And I'm not proud of it, but my father said to me, when you do a mistake once and you learn from it, it's good. But if you do the same mistake twice, so you better drill holes in your car so your donkey ears will go out. So I think that in my age, I learned to better listen to people. And it doesn't matter how smart you think you are. I think that this is the most important thing in being an entrepreneur and successful one. And this is my lesson in life.
So I'm going to make it harder on you.
Please.
Okay? Because there's a lot of entrepreneurship educators in the audience. Myself, I'm an entrepreneurship education. If there's one tip that you can give those novice entrepreneurs that are just trying to make their way in the world, what would it be? One
tip.
Yeah.
Wow. I think that I said it in many other words in my lecture, in my lectures and in my pitch here. But I think it's the one word is to be passionate, brain and heart to the idea. I will tell you something. In the Jewish tradition, which I loved it. Sorry, there is 3 words. I will tell it in Hebrew, and I will try to explain it in English, so you will better understand. It's Chabad, Chokhmah, Bina, Vedat. Wisdom, and this is the first one, wisdom. The second one is being brilliant, and the third one is knowing, and I will try to explain each one of them. Being brilliant, it's the spark of the idea that you receive from God, okay? This amazing idea to build something new that nobody did it before, and this is the idea. Wisdom is the ability to build it, to bring the team together, to build to bring this idea from something that is very spiritual or there in the air to something tangible. But the most important thing is to know how to love it. Because there is a saying that Adam loved Eva. But when they said in the scripts, it's not loved. He admired each and every cell in her body. So the love is the most important thing. So being in love with what you do, the ability to build it with yourself and with other people. This is the one idea that I would recommend each and every entrepreneur.
So now I'm going to open up and then give the audience a shot to ask some questions.
Please.
Yes, Leo.
So you just told us a great success story, but I want to know what is like the bitter part. Where's the greatest mistake you ever done?
Oh, I thought that half of my lecture was on the failures that I did.
I see it as a success story. Like, what is the one thing that you were saying to yourself, if I'd done it like the opposite way, something good would happen?
Listening to people. I for many years, and it's very hard for me, people say to me, why are you going to lecture? And I do many lectures and are in various forums. So I felt this is the cheapest psychology therapy that I get. So not listening to people was one of the biggest mistakes that I did. And not just people, especially your employees. They know better. And I'm telling you, they know better. And this was the biggest mistake that I did for quite a while.
So now you listen more to your employees?
I think that, yes, I think that I learned a lesson. I think that I learned this lesson, yes. I will know it during, the following days, years, and months and years, but I believe that I learned this lesson. It's a painful lesson, trust me. It's a painful lesson because it's not involved only money. People relate pain to money. It's not just money. It's losing something within your personality. It's losing a lot of things in yourself. So being an entrepreneur, it's not just bring something to the world that that I brought this amazing idea. Behind it, there is a lot of pain, anger, and just few sparks and lights and how was it? Sparkles and things like that. Just few of them.
May I ask, what are the actual practical process that you use to listen to your employees? To get constructive feedback on a weekly, monthly?
No, I will tell you.
How do you create the environment to actually...
Okay, I will tell you. Great question. Thank you for this question, really. Thank you. So, when you're an entrepreneur, I told you in the beginning that you need to fight against your own ego. So, I am the man behind the idea. So I will come to you and I will tell you what to do. I want you to do this and that and this and that, and you're excited about the idea, so you will do it. But it's not your idea, it's my idea. So even though that you're involved and contribute your things and ideas, it's still my idea. So knowing to let the people think that they innovated the idea, plant the seeds in their minds, the things that you want to do, and give and share with them the success as if they were the one to innovate this technology or whatever it is. This is the first and most important thing. And doing that is just by asking questions, not telling what to do. Just ask questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And then you realize that your thoughts and initial ideas are even smaller than the overall crowd ideas that the people that are near you, that they contribute to this thing. So asking questions, not telling what to do. In Israel especially. In China, you need to tell them what to do. In Israel, yes, the Chinese, it's a different culture. But for us, in Israel, the Israeli mentality and things like you cannot tell people, come do this. It's not interesting. They can go here and there. Here in this compound, you can find 10, 20 entrepreneurs that does not want to listen to other people. They want to listen to themselves, not to be not to listen to themselves, not to be doers. They want to, to be part of something. You want to ask something?
At the beginning, you talked about love. The strange thing is, we in Holland say to our students, don't fall in love with your product. But I think somehow you mean the same. So I want to know more about love. And then you said,
love is everything.
Also is, do you love your customer, or do you want to manipulate him? What's
the best company in the world is without employees and without customers. This is the best company in the world. You don't need to love the customers, because to tell you the truth, sometimes they are pain in the... I don't want to say this word, especially when I'm on video. But you need to appreciate them. You need to understand them. They will never, if they are real customers, they will never tell you just things to annoy you. They really, it means that something in the way that you communicate with them is not in the right way, is not understood, it's not understood enough. It's a lot of things like that. So you need to think about the customers as if they're right, and you need to appreciate them, because eventually they are the one to give you the money. And when you say love, so in my pitch I say two things. You need to be in love with what you do, but you need to listen, not to be, you need to listen to the evidence, to the signals from the market. So you can be in love with this bottle, but it will not contribute nothing to your pocket in the end. Okay, so you need to balance it. But love is a very important thing, because without love there is no passion.
So we're from Holland. I know the story, but I don't know the specifics. So this must have been an experience for you as well, quite a journey in Thailand, I must imagine. What's your biggest takeaway from this whole circus that you've been in for a couple of weeks? Your takeaway, your main takeaway from this big experience you had.
The publicity.
Wow.
Nice question.
You must have seen a lot, right?
Yes.
Even one step more.
I will tell you. So here, as well, there is a fight, internal fight with your ego. So in one day you are in the CNN live, second day you are in India live, third day you are in Brazil national TV live. I was actually not just me, also my employees were all in where we were spread all over the news around the world. And I'm telling you, talking about television, written, papers, networks, I don't know, hundreds of articles. So then you need to put a balance and to know when to stop it. So for me, it was when the children were saved, I stopped everything and stopped going to the news, even though they asked us to tell us more and more and more about what was going on and how it was done. But we stopped it because eventually you did what you're supposed to do, and that's it. So you need to stop it. The things that happened afterwards, it was like we got people from Guatemala, from Argentina, from Peru, from you name, you just turn the globes, put your finger on, and each country that you can imagine was someone approached us, wanted something. We couldn't cope with the demand, and still we're trying to think how to deliver. Our technology is very sophisticated, and it's not off the shelf, cuts off the shelf that you can buy it and like an iPhone. It's something that is more complicated, and need more to be professionally educated in order to use it. So it takes time to build these structures and sales channels, etc. I hope that this answered your question.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You had these live events that gave you your ideas, but you also have like a top-down process for ideation. Do you generally do systematic ways to come up with new ideas?
Of course.
What
So,
are
yes, yes, there is the systematic process. So there is the idea. So you draw it. I have these notebooks that I still from back then, that I drew the ideas. Actually, you can see like infant children diagrams with a circle, a man with the scribbles. That's right. And then you think about the application, how it's going to work, and a lot of diagrams, and you can see it still in my PowerPoints. It's the best thing to explain things, simplicity. And then we think about what are the parameters that this device should challenge with and addressed. So it must be lightweight, long battery life, small in size, ruggedized, working in a harsh environment and very dangerous environment. You just put all the things that it must address, and it's supposed to work without GPS, but it needs GPS for other applications. And you just build a marketing MRI, marketing requirement document, MRD or MRD, and MRD, marketing requirement document, and then you build the story. Okay, thereafter you sit with the engineers and asking what can be done, how can we do it, what will be the technology that will support it. It takes a lot of time and effort.
At what point does your customer come into the story? Again, we teach our students to, at a very early stage, to go to the customer and involve him in designing a product, not waiting for it to be finished because maybe you have the wrong product.
This is what you learn in business school.
Yeah.
Great. I will not challenge the professors. I will not challenge the professors, the doctors, but I will tell you what I think about it. It's very nice. The best thing is to find a customer that will be your champion. This customer, you cannot come to the customer and tell him, let's do this, let's do that, and being uncertain and let him influence on the design as much as you want. You need to understand the problem, the definition of the problem that you want to address to. The problem that I address to is having communication without infrastructure. That's it. One sentence, this is the problem. Everybody in the crowd understand it. Having a communication, resilient communication, without relying on any infrastructure. 2 sentences, that's it. That's it. So you come to the customer and you tell to your customer, this is what I'm going to do. Do you want it or not? Not tell me, do this, do that, put this LED here, put this LED that. No, this is what I'm going to do. I'm certain about what I'm doing. Is this thing address your immediate problem? If the answer is yes, okay, I'm willing to have you as my first adopter for this technology, whatever. And I chose a European company to do that for me. It was Leonardo. Back that time, it's called Selex or Finmeccanica. It's an Italian company, very big company, like $80 billion company. And they agreed to be our first adopters and partners. So they got the best deal ever. But for me, it was also the best deal ever because they were my reference. And having good references, it's the best thing that you can do. So I would take what you learned in business school and I would say, yes, you need a customer, but no, don't listen to him. So just, yes, try to address to his real problem, not involving him, because otherwise you will be R&D division in his company. That's right. He will adopt you as in his R&D, and this is what you don't want to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you have a patent?
Of course, our algorithm is patented. The synchronization mechanism is patented. We have a lot of patents. Yes. Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. So what you, I didn't know what to expect when I came, but what you said in the beginning that you blew up dynamite and played. I connected because when I was a little child, I used to build rockets. That was my passion, to play with it. And it came to a point that teachers from school came an expedition of teachers from school to my house and told me to stop it because the parents are complaining. But never mind.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but here's my question. I talked to you about the beginning. About an hour ago, I told you that I've developed some kind of technological. I'm passionate about solving problems, about development. I don't know anything about marketing. I don't know anything about business. I just try and error. So actually, I have two questions. One, would it be possible to learn from you? I thought it would be direct. And if not, how would you recommend me to find answers and to learn how I can proceed?
So I think that what you said now is very important because you said, I don't know. And telling that and understanding that, which are two different things, it's very important. So if you don't know, you already know the answer. You should find the best marketing guy that will be a believer like yourself in your idea and can market it. This is your mission now. If I were you, I would search for, you do something in software, so I would find a software marketing, the best marketing guy in software that can help you to do that. And if I was your co-chair, this is the first thing that I would tell you. Advice for free. Go find a marketing guy because you absolutely you are a technology guy, best in the technology. You know what you're doing. You need to find a marketing guy, and you need to find. I think that you need to find also someone that can explain in simple words what you explained to me in so many other words, and this is a hint. And you need to find maybe the first company or customer that will adopt it. So it's two different missions, but you need to address them in parallel. Understand?
Okay, so before I thank you, Uzi, for this privilege, thank you, peoples, for hosting us. That was very nice of you. Thanks for the beer, of course. Okay, and Uzi, that was a privilege.